Hello, you guys, and welcome to Finding Erica Live. Today, we're going to be talking about readiness for next year. Watching the video, you think you may not need it, but you might. So, take some notes and keep what I'm saying, put a pin in it, and share this video because you might have to come back to it and say, wait a minute, what did she say again? And so I'm hoping that you will find this video helpful. I want to take a second and thank all of my new subscribers. You guys, over the last 10 days, we received 600 new subscribers. Can't do this without you. I'm so thankful for each and every last one of your comments, your shares, your like, your support. Thank you so, so much. And I really, really appreciate you joining the journey. I also want to take a second and say, guess what, you guys? We are at 3,200 watch time hours. We are only 800 away from having 4,000 watch time hours. So if you're new to this channel, please, I have 700 videos. Go and take a look and watch a couple of them, leave a comment, share them. Help us meet that goal. And then I'm going to do a special live that day as soon as we hit our 4,000 mark. And I'm going to be giving away 20 t-shirts that say, you never know where I may end up. So if you'd like to have one of those t-shirts, please, please, please help us get to that goal so we could do that live. And the first 20 people that comment inside of the live chat at that particular live will get a t-shirt that says, you never know where I may end up. That's my little slogan. I say that and everything. So I cannot wait to be able to do that. So please, please, please help us get that last 800 watch time hours that we can make it to 4,000. And we are like 40 away from having 3,000 subscribers. Now, my goal was to have 5,000 subscribers by March. So if you know somebody who would be interested in these travels and these types of videos, please share it with them and ask them to subscribe, and make sure you yourself are hitting the notification bell. All right, so now we're going to get started with today's video, which we're going to be talking about homesteading. Now, as you guys know, I've been telling you that me and Cedric have been looking for a piece of land, and we were looking in specific areas that we like, that are kind of mutual in weather, that's not too bad, and find a place to kind of homestead. So the way 2025 is really kicking off, one of the reasons why we decided to do this year was because the way things are going, it might get to a point to where you can't afford to buy a piece of land, or whatever reason you can't get a piece of land. So we was looking at getting something now while it's still semi-affordable. And I'm going to show you where we're looking, how to look for that, and what to look for. So I'm going to go ahead on and share my screen with you and pull up what we need. So right now I'm sharing the fact that we were in the New Mexico area. And right over here in the top, we're at land.com. I put in here, I wanted to do at least $5,000 in land. So let me make sure that we different places. Now, as you go over here, you can start seeing land, and there's something specific that I need you to see when we're over in this particular box. So right here, I'm going to pick the first one because it kind of says photographs of the land. So if you can't get out to see it, you could definitely take a look at it here. And so it's got leveled and whatnot. And one of the things I really want to draw to your attention is it says peaceful setting is not to be necessarily in the city, because there's certain restrictions, some Wi-Fi issues every now and then, especially since it's snowing. It does act a bit. All right, so let's get back to the train of thought here. Bum, bum, bum. Sorry about that, you guys. I thought I had all that worked out before I got on. Okay. So as you can see here, you don't want to be necessarily in town, but not too far from it. This is a very remote, beautiful area, so you can kind of look around and see what is there. So there's a few things I want to point out to you here. So the things that we definitely want to pay attention to is the fact that it says that it's unrestricted, no zoning, no HOAs, okay? Full-time RV living, tiny housing, everything is allowed in this particular location. You make sure you read that, because some of these land where they have what you call subdivisions. And the goal of the county is hoping that when you buy the land, you'll build a house on it or you'll build something on it to where you'll pay taxes, right? So this one says it's recreational, and you'll see that right here. It's recreational, residential, and undeveloped. So I look for recreation. The fact is, I want to be able to do whatever it is that I want on my piece of land. Some of these land will only allow you to live in an RV as long as you're building a house. You can stay there. Some say you can only live on it XYZ months a year in an RV and you can't stay there. You're making sure you're looking for something that says unrestricted, full-time living. So when you buy this land, you know exactly what your rights are when you're staying on it. All right. So there's no no building codes or anything like that. So there's no expectation that if you get this, you now have to build on it. There's none of that. So let's go on down. We're going to look. They have the county, the information, and it says right here that it can be used for camping and RV. You see that. And we're going to go to the more. So I'm showing you all this because I think it's very important and you know what you're looking for. So right here, let me scoot down just a little so we can get some more information. Access. You kind of want to know what the roads look like. When you're buying property like this, sometimes getting to it does not mean that the county or the city or the state maintains the road. It might be your responsibility to make sure. So you make sure you want to read that and understand what the expectations will be if you purchase that land. Are you going to be expected to maintain it, or is that something that the county would be doing or whatnot? So that's just some ideas right there. Septic or compost system will need to be installed. So you're thinking about those kind of things whenever you're looking at property. What is it that's going to cost you out of pocket? This extremely affordable. So if you have a decent sized budget, then that wouldn't be a problem for you to be able to get your own septic or something on the property. You could get a well. We looked at those rain barrels once upon a time, and then power. So you can do the solar panels. You could find out through the city if power can be brought out to the property. This particular one is an hour from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it is 1 acre. So we're looking at this, and we're going to scroll down just a little bit and kind of give us some more information as far as the county, what the taxes will look like. Are there any back taxes on it? So there are none. And you can see how close everything is right here at the bottom. It kind of shows you as far as how far you are from the city. Yeah, and directions. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, so on and so forth. What mountains are around you, what kind of scenery you would be looking at if you stayed in this particular area. So this is a great idea if you are looking for different places. It just goes on and kind of tell you what's going on here as far as the documents and deeds and other things and so forth. Information that you can call and ask a lot of questions. It's good to make a list of things to ask whenever you're looking at buying property like this. Now, I'm going to go back to the main page and we're going to kind of scroll through, because of the simple fact is there's lots of land. Not all of it is an acre. Some of it is half an acre. And one of these, okay, so this looks a little misleading. So right now you're looking, you say, oh my goodness, that is a great price for land. It's just $149. Do not be fooled by that. Okay, that's click on that, but they're saying that they will lease the land to you with a monthly cost of XYZ. And you don't want that. The goal of homesteading is to own the land. It's just a buy outright and not fall for the monthly pay us and we'll do it. As you can see, this particular land right here, $400. Okay. And so if they're saying if you don't have that up front, you can do $149 a month. I would not suggest doing that. Just find some property for you to be able to get, own it outright, and start building and doing what it is that you want to do on it, whether it's putting a shed, whether it's pouring, right? So you can make it habitable to have a place to come. All right, as you can see, this one is recreational land as well. And then they have some aerial views and some land views to kind of show you the terrain. Now, I'm trying to find the one website that kind of shows you the whether it's a flood zone or things like that, because you don't want to buy a property and it's stupid cheap but it's in a flood zone, so every time it rains. So I was trying to find that website. I did not find it while I was preparing for this broadcast, but what I will do is keep looking for it, and I will drop a link in the description below so you can go and look. And so if you find a piece of land you like, you can say, hey, let me double check and make sure that this is not set up floodland, and then it'll be a headache later on. Having something that we own, having something that when you're done traveling or you're looking for not camping season, you can have a place to go and retreat to. Like I've said in part 1 and part 2 of the videos, if you I recommend you go and look at them and check them out, where we were talking about items that we can have about homesteading, you know, what to look for, seeds, rain barrels, solar panels, all that good stuff. And then we also talked about things that are coming down the pike that we should be mindful of and have a plan that if we do need to evacuate the cities, or we're just looking to be somewhere where we can kind of drop anchor, because RVing or camping is a lifestyle. It very much is. It's many communities of many people who live full time in their RVs. This is just a great idea to say, okay, well, when we're not camping all summer and through the fall, and we want to have a place that we can go, because you don't always have a place to stay when we're off the road. We have that issue. When we're not working at the campgrounds or we're not traveling, we're either at friends or at another campground. So by the time we are paying to just survive from October to March, we've paid for a piece of land 2 or 3 times over. So this video is for just, but I think this year, because it's hitting a little different, maybe we should be looking at getting some more concrete plans of where we're going to land. Now here it is. We have some other land. This is just a half an acre and it's $1,800. The owner is willing to finance, but again, it's always good that if you have the money up front to just go ahead on. You don't have to do it in the New Mexico area. This is just the area I've been looking in that seemed to be quite affordable, and it affords the scenery that I want to be in, and the remote in different places. You might be looking at tribal land, so you have to deal with that as far as the Native American in their land, and it's zigzag lines, and it gets more and more expensive because of where it's located. Look, I wanted something kind of remote where it's off the beaten path. You won't have a lot of people. I figure if we do it by county, this would kind of help you with the understanding of that. So I'm going to stop sharing this one. And then we're going to move over to the one that I have that's set up by county. And this one is very because it kind of shows you what's available in the particular county and how much it's going to cost, right? So here we are. Let me go over. Here we are in the county. This one is 5,500. It's 1 acre, and it has information of where the airport is, how far. Again, we're looking at this, and we want to make sure it says full-time RVs and living allowed on the land, completely unrestricted. Again, sometimes they have the stipulation that yes, you can park your RV there, put your money down for. It's going to work for you and your family. All right. County. It has the photos. It has the. It's non-restricted. Yes, year round. For internet, if you're working from home or something like that, you could do or satellite internet hotspot. The cell services that work, the towns that are near, and the subdivision. Now, all land is kind of zoned up into subdivisions, so you just kind of want to make that you're looking at that and making sure the subdivision that you pick does not in the future expect you to be building a home and have certain restrictions on it. It tells you about the road access for this particular part. Looking at sewer, it's telling you about that you would have to buy something and get it installed. The water, a private well or water hauling. If you can get a well or something set up that's on a permanent basis to or have water hauled in one time where you got like a little lake or something of that nature. Or if you can look at the and research the area as far as how a big rainy season, make sure the land doesn't flood, and maybe rain barrels might be the way that you can go and you can store up water and then filter it and use it that. All right. And so here is just some clever information, just some key points of things you need to be looking for. And have any questions, you have all these numbers right here where you can call and kind of find out and make yourself a detailed list of questions you'd like to ask so you can get the proper information whenever you are checking out certain properties. Like this one we were looking at, you can go down the list. And so the reason why I was looking at New Mexico is because it's the most affordable. It's you a decent piece of land for the most affordable price. And you want to call and make sure you have your list of questions you want to ask as far as what you need to know, and make no other hidden fees. There's no back taxes or anything like that. So I picked these because you can get at least an acre. They all say unrestricted, and you can see kind of where it is. And I want to caution you of where you go to look. As I was preparing for this video, I got a disturbing picture. I started to show it, but I decided against it. You can go and look it up for your. I was on Zillow and I looked up land, and the first thing I saw was two gentlemen over a dead deer doing the Nazi salute. So you make sure that you kind of maybe want to call area and find out, or go to their website and look at what kind of crimes that they have in that area, it depending on your situation, right? Depending on who you are or what you are or anything like that. That's not what we're moving out there for, to have to deal with racism or people that are looking to harm you in any kind of way. You're looking for a nice piece of land, serenity, to be able to relax. So you always want to protect yourself. So looking at the police reports, going on to put these kind of pictures out on the internet for anyone from them either, right? So take a look at these, check them out. Like I said, these are the most affordable so far. The most expensive one I saw was this one for $5,000. Power only and one lot away. So you can, and that one might be worth the money, because if power is only one lot away, then it will not be hard for you to maybe to get a post put into your land and be a completely unrestricted recreational land, no zoning, no HOAs. Guys, if you are just coming into this broadcast, please, please, please give us a thumbs up. It helps to get us out there. We are meeting our quota. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. So please, please, please consider subscribing. If you're new to this channel, leave us a thumbs up. All you are here now, leave us a thumbs up, because it helps a lot, and it helps out the different land, and you can kind of know what it is that you need. Is looking at the property tax here. It tells us that it's about $20 a year on it. So when you get it, you're starting fresh. They have coordinates here to kind of show you where the property begins and where it ends. I'm telling you guys, a lot of people are kind of ignoring me, but I'm not doing these videos for nothing. I believe that it is high time that we just start looking at having something, right? And so as RVers or campers or car campers or tent or even someone living in a house, it's always nice to have something and somewhere to call home, or secondary space that you can call home. So that is the purpose of looking at these videos here. Work out of this particular county. The county, this one here. I don't want to mispronounce it, but this is the county. And so you can check out really decent prices, the affordable prices. And I think a lot of times we don't even think about owning land because we think it's going to cost 250 2250. It's a private lot set from the main road. You can look at it and kind of evaluate, is this something that you may be interested in doing? So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today, that here are some places that I'm looking at, and I wanted to share some places with you that you can take a look at. Okay, we're going to do RVing full time forever. All right. the fifth wheel, we have the travel trailer, we have the toy hauler that we want, we have whatever it is that you have there, your destination house or whatever, and we want a piece of land that's cheap to put it on, that we don't have a whole lot of rules and regulations to have it, this is a great option. And you don't have to look in New Mexico. You know what to look for now, right? You can look in Utah, you can look in Arizona, you can look in Nevada, you can look anywhere you want. And I'm picking those places because a lot of those places during certain times of the year are very habitable, right? They're not as cold or they're not as hot, and you can kind of figure out what it is. You could buy two pieces of land and be one where in the summer and one in the winter and be able to change back and forth. So no matter where you are or what season it is, you have a place. And so thinking like that and having like a little homestead, I encourage you to kind of check out the soil. So maybe you want to start a little garden. You want to make sure if you're going to be in some of these remote places that the soil is conducive for a garden, or that you have the right pots or planters and stuff like that to be able to do maybe a nice little shed. If you maybe even want to start a business, looking at that and kind of researching, if I buy this recreational land, can I maybe start a little small business on it and welcome other RVers to come and spend the night there, and that you have a well or a septic and they can dump and fill up and keep going. Who knows? Who knows? But it's time to kind of be thinking about those kind of things, because not all of us have a home that we could go back to and park our RV in the yard and just wait to camping season. So if that's you and you're one of those people who are saying, okay, we live in this thing, we're boondocking, but we have to move every 14 days or every 7 days, or maybe you just say, I want to live in an RV because it's cheaper to live and you need some place to park it. Consider this. Go to any state you want, put in the amount you want to pay, how much acreage you want to look at, and then kind of look at it. And you never know, it might be negotiable. So don't count yourself out as far as that's concerned. But like I said, I'm looking in that particular area because I'd like to be in an area where I can afford to go ahead and buy the land and just be done with it. I don't want to have to turn around and then have a monthly payment of trying to pay the land off. I want to be able to get it, own it, have the deed to it, and then start building whatever homestead I'm going to have in that area. And it's always good to kind of research with the county, kind of call them. And if you know what it is you like to do on the land, make a list before you call them and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing on it. This is what I want to do on it. Hey, can you point me in the direction? Does it have issues with sandstorms a lot out there? Is the soil decent out there? It's always good to go and lay eyes on the property, right? To kind of just make sure. Pictures are wonderful, right? They're wonderful when you can't get to it right away. But you always want to go out and lay eyes on it. You want to walk it. You want to see it. You want to drive it. And you want to make sure that it's going to be a good fit for you. You want to peep out the neighbors if there are some. And you kind of just want to have a good feel for where you're going to be. I want to take a look at one more property so I can show you one more thing, one more area. And so I'm going to share my screen with you for this particular one. And the only reason why I think there is some other land here, but with these, I do believe they are wanting you to build on it. So as you see here, it's $3,500. It's great, a plot of land of whatnot. And I wanted to show you something. I'm trying to look over it. One of these kind of tells you that you can live in an RV on the property until you build. You must build a family home. And I was trying to see if this was the one that said that. It says recreational land. Of where the land is, it kind of tell you maybe this isn't the one. I was looking for one specific because of the simple fact that some of them do say RV allowed, but they have a certain amount of days. Take a look at the different land and see what works for you, right? And contact the people and set up something where you can meet them. They even a container home. See right here, you can even put a container home on your land if you wanted to. So if I can find the one that I was wanting to show you, I don't see it at this second. And it might have been at that other website I was looking at. And I was just so disturbed by it that I just got off of it. I didn't stay and look at it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, why would they want that to be their main picture of that? So yeah, I don't see it right now, and I'm starting to think it was at that other website I clicked out of that I just didn't stay to watch it. So you guys check this out. You never know. You never know. It's a good idea. Like I said, I did some other videos kind of showing you things purchasing to have if you are a full-time RVer or a camper to kind of help transition life a little bit easier. You always want to make sure you have batteries, flashlights, solar lights, all that kind of stuff, because those things you can recharge and it's always good to have. I hope you will take this video and do some of your own research and look at that land that you might be thinking about homesteading on for yourself. As this year goes on, I cannot wait for us to hopefully make it out west so we can be looking at the land that we've looked at and be able to walk it and survey it. And I'm going to make sure I take you guys on the journey to do that. And when we go to look at ours, and once we start our homesteading process, you better believe I'm going to take you along for the journey. So, yes, that is what today's live was about. I kind of wanted to show you how we've been looking for land. What you can do to start looking for land is not as expensive as you think it is. You can look in certain areas that are RV friendly, and you can set up your own homestead for a little or nothing. If you were on the fence about buying an RV but wasn't sure of where you were going to keep it, you can purchase the land, get it taken care of, and then do whatever traveling you want to do and come back to it. All right. If you want to pour yourself a concrete slab and mark it off your acreage so you know how big it is, put something up, kind of make sure people not trespassing or squatting on your land, you can do all that, and it's cheap enough that these thoughts can now be reality. And I think that in this day and age, we need to go ahead on and purchase something while we still have purchasing power, right? While we still can able to do that and the prices are not skyrocketed, and then we could go and get set up. Because as things begin to morph and change and items are going to become more and more expensive, it might be that we can't afford to do it anymore. So while it's at a point to where, hey, I can do $3,000 for an acre of land, and then I could save and buy the acre beside me and the one behind me and the other, and so on and so forth. I can get these rain barrels off of Amazon because now they're only 40, $50, because later they might be 70 and 80, and that might be out of your price range. Go ahead and get those solar panels while you can get 3 or 4 of them with the battery pack and pay $200 or $300, right? Versus in the future, it might be $500, $600, $700 or $1,000 and you can't afford it. So hear what I'm saying and start planning accordingly. And if you need it, you're prepared and you're not caught off aware trying to do it. Let me say it like this. Whenever we have these natural disasters, whether it's a hurricane on its way, whether it's a storm or ice or tornado or whatever, what happens? People in a mass panic buy all the eggs, all the milk, all the cereal, all the sandwich meat, right? And then you go in the store and you're like, man, they don't have anything. And you start getting the scraps of whatever's left or whatever you can afford to get. I am saying let's not be the panic people who are running to the store last minute trying to grab things at an inflated price because stuff doesn't hit the fan. Let's prepare in advance. Let's start looking at these things, even if it's just purely out of curiosity. Let's start looking at what we can do. Let's start planning for the future, and let's start moving towards a life of self-sufficiency and do it with purpose, because life as we knew it has officially changed. And I don't see it getting better or going back. So now we need to adjust to what the future looks like. And as a full-time RVer, I'm not talking from a person who does not know. I'm talking from experience of having this RV. I've been living in it for 4 years now. And I know what it's like when you're not traveling and on the road, what you're going to do. It's nerve-wracking because you're paying money hand over fist to stay at state parks, to try to stay at campgrounds, and the money that you're spending to have a place to put this thing as a full-timer, you could have bought 3 or 4 pieces of land around you. So let's start looking at these things. Let's start thinking, changing our mindset. Like I've said before, the life you save might be your own. You never know about your families. Everybody can't afford land, but if you can get enough and say, hey, this is the ordinance. If you need to go and take a break, if you want to go camp on my land, if you want to meet us out there and we ride quads, it could be a wonderful vacation spot. You have your own, and it's a place where you can land and retreat if RVing is even a thing you might want to get into and you're kind of worried about where would you park it. There you go. Check it out and check out some land and go from there. I hope this video was informative, and if it was, please leave me a thumbs up and a comment below. I would love to have you subscribe if you are new to this channel and you just found it. If you have any ideas of your own, drop it in the comments below or join our Discord. We are wanting to make that Discord a place of information, whether it's coordinates, whether it's new things on sale, whether it's things that are happening and that we as RVers and campers or just general GP need to know. General GP means general public. Okay. So just if the GP needs to know, this is what we can do, start looking at this. Let's share ideas. I will drop the Discord server, its link in the description below of this video. If you would like to be a part of our journey and show your love and support for this channel, make sure that you go on over and join our Patreon page. For 1 cup of coffee a month, you can be a great supporter of this page. And we have some free perks over there too for people who are a part of our Patreon page. So you can go and check that out. Shirley says, we purchased property that has an older house. It will, well, there you go. Oh, I'm so glad you said that, Shirley. I just thought about that. Sometimes you can go on a county's website and look at places that are abandoned, like people haven't lived there in 40, 50 years. There's a house on it. It's pretty much condemned. There's nothing you can do with it. And the county just wants to sell it for little or nothing, right? They just want maybe just the back taxes paid on it. And it's a little or nothing. And it's $10,000. Let's just say it's $10,000. Wow, what a bargain, right? Because you're going to get electricity, you're going to get water already on it, and you're going to have sewer already on it. And you could demolish the house, clean the property off, and then, hey, homestead, right? And you got the yard, you can grow a garden, you can get it outside of the city limits, right? So be thinking about those things, you guys. I'm telling you, I am not trying to cause any mass hysteria. I am pleading with you to be prepared for what 2025 has in store. That's all I'm saying. Do not wait to get your bread, your eggs, your milk, and your water at the last minute. How about we do these things ahead of time, be looking at them, educating ourselves on what it is we need, what it is we want, looking at the roster and say, hey, there's an auction on an old house that we know that's 20 miles outside of town on a remote road that nobody's lived there in forever. That would be perfect. Make sure that you can park your RV there and that it's your land. You do what you want. As long as you clean it up, you can get it for a little or nothing. You can check those things out and go from there. Miss Talia, how are you doing? It says, I would like to homestead with like-minded people. Set up is where to set it up is the question. Well, watch this video from the beginning because I gave some tips of some places that I'm looking at. I'm looking at New Mexico, right? And I'm looking at that area for my own specific reasons. But you can look at areas for your own specific reason that work for you. And I'm looking at a place to where I can go, that I want to be fairly remote. I want to be without restrictions, and I want it to be affordable. And so that is why I'm looking there. Okay. But like I said before, I found that other website, Zillow. It's a reputable website. And the first picture on their website is these men doing the Nazi salute over a dead deer, selling property. So that prompt me to say, okay, so then while I'm looking, I need to make sure I'm looking at the crime rate and what's been reported in the area as well. And I just want to make sure I'm covering all my bases. So whenever you're looking at stuff, just make sure that you have a list of what you need, what you're looking for, what you need to know, educate yourself, and move forward. You have probably spent $2,500 on something frivolous before, a TV or something. So that's not a lot of money, right? And you own it. It's yours. You have the deed. There's no back taxes. You can go do it. You saw where you can do whatever you want on it. What do you have to lose, right? So just make your list. Be smart. Follow your gut. Do your due diligence, and let's move to a more self-sufficient lifestyle and less dependent on the conveniences that can be taken away at a moment's notice. That's all I'm saying. So, yes. And so if you can't afford to pay all that at one time, just start putting money over to the side, whether it's $10 here, $20 there, so on. But still be doing your homework, because prices fluctuate. And after a while, when people can't sell the land that they have posted, they discount it, they bring it down. And it's like, hey, it used to be this, now it's that. They keep bringing it down, and they might even negotiate. A lot of times people have land and they inherited it and they don't want it. They don't want to be bothered with it. And the first decent offer that comes through, they're ready to get rid of it. And you'd be like, wow. Pray about it too. Ask the Lord to lead you in the direction He wants you to go, and the place He wants you to be. Because my mom used to tell me, anywhere with Jesus, you can safely go. So if He is leading you in a direction or in a piece of property, go and know that if He took you there, He could protect you there, right? And just be smart about it. Be smart about it. And so that's my goal. I know that we were hoping to be able to do, some traveling this summer, but I really would like to go ahead on and secure a piece of land and start looking at what we need. Maybe spend a month on it, trying to homestead it, get it ready, pour some concrete. My husband is a man that can do anything. I do mean anything. If he can go to YouTube University and watch a couple videos, and he'll be like, okay, I got it. And he will do a perfect job. If he touch it, it's going to work. If you put it together, it's going to be fine. If the car breaks down, give him a few minutes, he'll figure it out. He's mechanically inclined. I have not met anything yet that he has touched that didn't work after he was finished with it, or something he did that I gave him that he broke and couldn't fix it. So it's like one of those things. I'm excited. So pouring concrete, we're going to do that ourselves. We're going to find our piece. We're going to pour some concrete, because we like to have, concrete slab to park the camper on. Get things ready. And so we're going to be looking for that. So I hope you guys will subscribe and take the journey with us, because I'm looking behind the scenes and we're hoping to be able to get out there. We had some truck issues and it took a lot of our savings. So, like normal Americans, we're struggling to try to put our savings back. So having your support is always wonderful. So if you guys want to be a part of our Patreon page, we would absolutely love that. And you can find that on the About at the bottom of this video. And so we would love to have your support. Is that, don't forget about our Discord. Like I said, I'll drop the link to that as well. And make sure you hit the notification bell, because as we start getting closer to moving, we're going to be doing more and more videos. I'm going to be bringing you more and more information, and we're going to be moving forward. Yes. And so, is the truck fixed? No, not yet. So as far as that's concerned, we have a bigger camper, and our truck can pull it, but I think that it might be, it's transmission related. And so Cedric has been fixing things, and we're hoping maybe it's not the transmission, that this might be it, but then it's not. So we've been doing a lot of exploratory fixing trying to get to the heart of the problem. But the truth is, we've been zigzag across the United States 2 or 3 times, and we just need another truck because we almost have 300,000 miles on it. And it's to the point to where major things are breaking down. So we've been trying to just keep it together. The Lord has blessed us that this truck has been really good to us, but I think it's getting to the end of its life expectancy, and we need another truck. And unfortunately, trucks are not cheap, so you can't afford to just run out and buy a brand new truck. So my sweet husband has been trying to duct tape this thing together and keep it going for us. And so, no, as of right now, not yet. The truck's not fixed. Right now, he's out working, we're trying to get our savings back up because we blew through a lot of it just trying to get the truck in running condition so we can keep going. So no, not yet, Shirley. Thank you for checking in with us. It's been a stressor. I'm not gonna lie to you. That has definitely been a stressor because we have a lot of things on our plate, a lot of things coming up. We have to leave soon. I mean, you can only boondock in people's yard for so long, right? And then you have to get ready to go. And so we're approaching our shove off date, and there's so many last minute things that need to be done, and you're just trying to figure out how you're going to take care of all of it. And so having our own space would be great, but we don't. And so that is exactly why we're looking at this. And as we're looking at the world around us and how we're kind of riled up it is, we're thinking now is the time that we need our own space, right? I don't want to be trying to stay at state parks all the time and paying them $40 a night. That gets expensive. RV, what is it? KOAs, they're expensive. They could be $80 a night to $50 a night. I mean, how long can you stay there and not blow $400 or $500 just for one stay? So it becomes expensive. And what I'm saying is true if you're an RVer. So why not take that money and have your own land and stay there when you're off the road? you know? And so that's what we're looking at. That's the goal we're shooting for. And I figure if those are things on my heart and mind that I'm thinking about, maybe those are some of the things that you guys are dealing with too as full-time RVers. So I have been doing a series of ready preparedness videos. And so check out the other two. One of them is me telling supplies and stuff we've been looking at and things we're going to be doing. The other one is kind of introducing you to the idea of changing the mindset of what we're doing. And this one is looking at land that is affordable. So you will stop thinking that it costs too much and that's not something out of reach. Now, in the near future, it may cost too much and it might get out of hand. But while it's affordable, go ahead and get your bread, go ahead and get your water, go ahead and get your eggs. And I'm being facetious here because the sarcasm of mass hysteria when it comes down to disasters like hurricane, tornadoes, and stuff like that. And everybody runs to the store and buy up everything. So we want to go ahead on and get ahead of the 8 ball and look at these things, put a pin in it, and start working towards it. Like I said, you could check your county, check those abandoned properties. Maybe somebody passed away, they didn't have any heirs, and the county just want to get rid of the property. You might pay a little more, but you're going to already have the sewer, you're going to already have the electricity, you're going to already have the water, and those are things that you're not having to now, once you got the land, have them installed and put in and so on and so forth. And you might be able to get it for a total amount of what you would have been spending. Now, if you can't afford to spend $8,000 or $10,000 on a piece of land that comes with all that, and just getting the land is where you are, and that's what we are, just purchasing the land, and over time, as you make money, add those things, then go the route that we were just talking about earlier. Hi, Miss Margaret. I know Miss Margaret is going to be retiring soon, and she might be joining us on our RV journey as far as being an RVer once again, or maybe somebody who is just maybe looking to slow down into a different pace. So I hope that you guys found this video helpful because that's what it is. It's to help you and to help you change the mindset of thinking certain things are out of your reach because that's not true, but it may get that way. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to say it ever again. Whenever you have rich people making decisions for the poor, it is never in favor of the poor. So if you are poor, like me, and you cannot afford, you know, certain types of things like, expensive land or whatnot, get it now while it's cheap, own it, because it may become out of reach for us as as the common man. That's what I'm saying. There's no race here. Common man. It could be more too expensive for anybody. So while this type of thing is flying under the radar, and you can get it for $2,500, $3,000, and you can start building and doing little things to it, do it. I'm telling you, 4 months from now, 3 months from now, 6 weeks from now, you're going to wish you had listened to me, and you're going to be looking at this video again. Let's just do it. Let's just start moving towards it. That's the journey for me that I'm going to be working on. We were debating, are we going to go back to work this summer, or are we going to try to, I've turned YouTube into my job, and it's starting to pay off. We're like 700 watch time hours away from being 4,000. So I decided I'm going to do this as my job. And it's like, do we want to take this summer, do some traveling, get our land, get it set up so when fall comes the next time we're set? Or do we want to work, try to, make some money? Because if we're working, we can't do videos. The job we had was like 40, 50 hours a week. You only had a day, 2 days off, and it was usually Saturday, Sunday. And then and where the location was, it was too far to like take day trips, right? It was like 5 hours to get to the nearest thing, and then 5 hours back, and it's just not worth it. So we didn't get a chance to do a whole lot of videos. So it's like, do we want to do more videos and treat this like a job, and then do our homesteading? Or do we want to go ahead on and work, and then we figure it out at the end of the job cycle? So a lot of things are being tossed around here. A lot of decisions have to be made, but the decision needs to be made by the end of this month, because that's shove off time, right? And so we're trying to figure everything out. Thank you, Miss Talia. Um, and so I'm just trying to help. I'm just thinking, what would I do as an RVer? And maybe other people are thinking the same thing. And so I'm just sharing thoughts, sharing ideas, sharing things that I'm learning, sharing things that are going to be a reality for us, that may have to be a reality for some others. Thumbs up are appreciated. So if you guys could leave a thumbs up, that would be awesome. And I hope that you found this video very helpful. If you're just joining the live, make sure you watch this from the beginning. Make sure you post it somewhere. Make sure you share it. And we would love to have your support. And so, like I told you, you guys, if we hit, when we hit our 4,000 mark, we are going to do a special live celebration where the first 20 people in our chat will get a free t-shirt that says, "You never know where I might end up." And I'm excited to give those away. So help us get to the 4,000 hours that we need. By March 1st, we are hoping to have 5,000 subscribers. So you can help be a part of that as well. And you guys, we are in this journey together. And so as fellow RVers, fellow campers, fellow human beings, we have to stick together. So we want to share information. We want to share things that we're learning. We want to share how we can all survive together. We can do that in the Discord. So make sure you join that as well, and post in there and share your ideas, and share places that you've been that you think would be a good idea. Share what it is that you're doing now that can help in your and someone else's RV journey. And maybe some newbies here that don't know what you know, and it'll be great to have that information as well. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. I am so thankful that you guys came and hung out with me and listened to my little spiel here. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you found it helpful for somebody else, please share it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. I have a special interview guest that will be coming up next month, and I cannot wait. So be looking out for that. That is the main reason why you want to hit your notification bell. We'll announce that as we get closer. And we're going to be doing some more campground reviews. A lot of things are kind of closed because it's still cold. It's kind of snowing today. So I've been doing a lot of campground reviews. I'm going to get one of those done this week and get it posted out to you. And then we have another live coming out on Thursday at 7. So you want to make sure that you are present for that. So make sure your notification bell is on. All right, loved ones, I love you, and stay warm. Take what I'm saying into consideration. Share it with others. And I will see you in our next video, because you never know where I may end up. Bye for now.